This is just people who don't want to lose Jesus. And so they continue with this type of mindset to say that Christianity was hijacked. And most likely she's talking about they were hijacked by the Romans, but I'm not picking on her directly, as there are many, many people who come to me with this same commentary that Christianity is hijacked from African religion or hijacked from ancient American religions, but it's just hijacked. And they want to just blame the Romans and blame white people. But the fact of the matter is, Christianity is a Levantian religion. Now, it is comprised of many aspects, but many of those aspects come before the Romans. But there is the Romans who created Christianity in order to create a docile version of Judaism, because the Jews were revolting over all throughout the Roman Empire. And so Vespasian figured the best way to stop it is to stop the Messianic message, stop them looking for this Messiah who's going to come and overthrow. So yes, there are elements that you may find in Christianity that are similar to Kemetic stories, similar to the Akkadian stories, similar to the Sumerian stories. But if some Christianity was truly hijacking anything, it hijacked Judaism. Because Jesus was a Jew according to the story. And according to the ones who wrote the narrative, Jesus would be a Jew. That is the only way that you can change the Jewish story, is by bringing in the Jewish Messiah, but making him a conqueror in the heavens instead of a conqueror on earth. You see, Judaism was hijacked and created Christianity. Ancient Kemetic was not hijacked to create Christianity, although there are some mind things that are similar. Nor was Ifa, nor was any other ancient African tradition. They were not hijacked to create your Christianity. It is purely based on the coming Messiah, but instead of that Messiah being a war-fighting conqueror, the Messiah was a docile, give unto Caesar what is Caesar. That whatever government you're born under, God placed you in it. You should follow those laws, and whoever your king is, you should pray for your king, and all those sorts of things. That's why you find them in your Bible, because the Romans wrote it. Hellenistic Jews wrote it, but they were under Roman control. Now, Judaism in itself did not hijack ancient African religions. The Israelites' religion, Judaism, is a combination of Levantian and North African religion, where they pulled from the Canaanites, they pulled from the Babylonians, they pulled from the Akkadians, they pulled from the Sumerians, and they pulled from the Kemetic people. So there are similarities that they pull from those different people. Those are the things that we talk about on my page. So go ahead and subscribe. But they pulled from those people. Now, certain elements you will find no matter where you are, and they do not have to be pulled from. In the same way that Shango is a thunder god, a lightning god, a god of the storm, so is Thor. But those two people had zero contact with each other. The same with Yahweh, who is a storm god. But those people had no contact with the people in West Africa. They had no contact with the people in Germania, and the Norse area. They had no contact with those people. So them all creating a storm deity is because they all had storms. Just like for every group that had mountains, have a mountain god. For everyone that lived coastal, they have a sea god. So some themes are going to be something that people just create without having to steal them. Someone to save them from oppression that comes from on high is a common theme. Being the son of a god is a common theme. So some of those things are just common, while the other things, the majority of what Christianity is, came from Rome's desire to stop the Jewish revolts. They didn't care about what was going on in Egypt and Libya and those places. Those places was well under control, except for the Jews who were revolting in places like Alexandria, Egypt. And Alexandria was a huge money pot for the Romans, so they had to stop that, because you can't mess up the money. But Christians do this, people do this, because they want to hold on to Jesus. Their fear of hell, their need to have a redeemer, is why people come and say they hijack Christianity. It's because you want Jesus, but you don't want the Christianity. But unfortunately, you can't have Jesus without the Christianity. You can't have the Christianity without the Judaism. So you still got to have that, because there is no Christianity without the writings, the Jewish writings. And you can't absolve yourself from the Jewish writings by just hanging on Jesus. And even when you hang on Jesus, Jesus wasn't all right. Everything he said wasn't great. He never condemned slavery. He never condemned war. He never said men and women should be equal. He never indicated any of those things. So he's not as good as y'all think. It's just the fact that you believe that through his human sacrifice that you get to go to heaven instead of going to hell. But once you realize that there is no such thing as hell other than the one that you create, then you don't need Jesus. All you need is a mind to think. So think about it. Take Jesus away, because there is no Bible Jesus. There is no Yahweh, hell creator. When you take those things away, the only thing there is you. It's you. And your ability to create heaven or hell at any moment, at any given time. So I hope you free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.